Welcome back to the Grambling State Dynasty, guys. This week, our Tigers are home, and welcome the 7th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions to the Hole. GSU has 2 prospects on campus this week. Number 2 guard in the country, Gavin Jackson, and 4-star QB Adam McDonald. Both would add great depth to the Tigers. First quarter action, Reed drops back, hits Tate on the angle route, and he powers his way to 12 yards. A few plays later, Reed goes back to the air, and look at this throw between Collins and Stover for a huge gain of 27. Later in the drive, Reed continues to pick apart the secondary, connecting with Ginn for 10 more yards. Then Reed keeps the option left, stretches it to the outside, bounces off of 1, 2, and 3 tackles and stumbles into the end zone. Penn State strikes first, 7-0. GSU takes over. Penn State sends the blitz. King hits Walker on the slant. He cuts it to the outside and turns on the burners. Antonio Walker goes 69 yards to the house. Touchdown, Grambling. We're knotted up at 7. Nittany Lions would come out throwing. Reed hits Trangan on the slant, and he picks up 10 yards. Reed would continue his hot hand, connecting with Russ, just out of reach of Haley for 16. A few plays later, Reed drops back and hits Tate again on the angle. Haley misses, and the back picks up 15 more. 2 plays later, Penn State runs the option perfectly. Reed pitches to Williams. He turns upfield and picks up 17 yards. It's 1st and goal. Reed drops back, but here comes Brandon Ginn, and he lays the hammer down to get the sack. 2 plays later, Reed keeps the option right, but Chris Clemens makes the touchdown-saving tackle. Penn State set up to go for it on 4th, but Mike Tate gets stuffed at the goal line. Great stand by the G-Men. And the Tigers have a long field ahead. Jackson takes the handoff, bounces it out left, and muscles his way to 10. Then PJ gets it again, goes up the gut, and carries the defender for 8 yards. Next play, King goes back to the air, linking up with Bobby Smith on the end route. He stiff arms and picks up 16 yards. Then King is rolling, hitting Smith on the drag, and the wideout drops his shoulders and gets the first. 2 plays later, King with the deep drop, and he's going deep to Tim Clark. He's wide open. The big fella rumbles his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Grambling. Great pitch and catch. Tigers take the lead. But Penn State looks to answer. Reed drops back, moves around in the pocket, and throws it to Russ, and he gets the first. Stovall just overplayed it. Now it's 3rd and long for the Nittany Lions. Reed hits Tate on the screen. West misses. He catches a block downfield, and he turns on the Jets. Antoine Nugent makes the touchdown-saving tackle. Great play for Penn State. 2 plays later, Reed keeps the option, finds a lane up the middle, and powers his way to 7 yards. 3rd and inches, Reed keeps the option again and dives ahead for the first down. But it's bad news for Penn State. Mike Tate would get hurt on the play and miss a quarter. Then just before the end of the first quarter, Reed with the play action. He hits Huff, and he does the rest. The back puts a move on 2 defenders and walks into the end zone. We're knotted up at 14. Next Tigers possession, they come out throwing. King drops back and threads the needle to Walker on the outside for the first. Next play, Pierre hits the hole up the middle and uses his strength to pick up 8 yards. Later in the drive, King goes back to the air, hitting Bobby Smith on the slant. He tries to cut outside but gets popped and picks up 13. 2 plays later, King with the drop back, rolls to his left, looks downfield and finds Easley wide open for 19. And 3 plays later, PJ will punch it in from a yard out. Touchdown, Grambling. Tigers regain the lead. And the G-Men's defense would turn up. Reed tries to bounce to the outside, but the entire defense was ready and gets a 9-yard loss. Now it's 3rd and long. Reed with the drop back and throws it to White on the outside, but he's short of the first down. Nittany Lions would punt. And here come the Tigers. Jackson finds a nice running lane on the left, and he picks up 7. Then look at this throw from Chris King, hitting Smith with 3 defenders around him for 17. 2 plays later, King goes back to the air, hitting Easley coming out of the backfield for 10 more yards. Next play, King continues to pick apart Penn State, hitting Bobby Smith on the curl route, and he picks up 16. Next play, PJ gets loose, finding a lane up the middle and picking up 9. And a few plays later, Kevin Easley finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Grambling. Tigers extend their lead. Then after a Penn State 3 and out, King comes out slinging, hitting Tim Clark across the middle for 15. Then the 2 would link up one more time, this time for 11 and a first. We've got 21 ticks left in the first half. King drops back. His Walker on the outside. He turns upfield and gets out of bounds. 2 plays later, King drops back. His Tim Clark again over the middle, and the big fella picks up 14. And that was set up as Mike Davis field goal, sending us to the half with Grambling State up 31-14. The Tigers are looking dominant. Let's see if they can keep Penn State in check in the second half. Starter third, Eric Rogers is back deep, and he's bringing it out. He starts up the middle, breaks it to the outside, catches a block, and turns on the speed. Meep. The Road Runner does it again. 109 yards to the house. Touchdown Grambling. Tigers up 38-14. After another Nittany Lions 3-and-out, here comes the GSU run game. Jackson takes the handoff, bounces it outside, and spins and picks up 15. Then PJ takes the handoff, follows his blockers, and picks up another 11. 2 plays later, King drops back and connects with Clark over the middle. The big fella turns upfield and picks up 22. Next play, King goes back to the air, rolls right, tries to hit Carter over the middle, but gets picked off by Johnson and gets tackled at the 1. Great play by the safety. But Penn State is pinned back deep. Takes the handoff, but runs into the yellow wall, and it's a safety. Tigers up 40-14. GSU gets the ball back, and King goes back to the air, hitting Smith on the outside. He turns, spins away from the defenders, turns up the speed, and gets into the end zone. Touchdown Grambling. Tigers pulling away. Grambling State would add 2 more touchdowns, keeping their win streak alive and dominating. 61-14 is your final. What a day for Chris King. 29 of 35 for 445, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Pierre Jackson had 22 carries for 150 yards and a touchdown, and Kevin Easley had an end zone visit too. The Tigers had 3 wideouts go over 100 yards. Bobby Smith led the way with 9 grabs for 143 yards and 2 scores. Antonio Walker had 8 grabs for 144 yards and a touchdown, and Tim Clark had 7 catches for 109 yards and a score. On defense, the G-men pitched a shutout in the second half. Clemens had 7 tackles, and Stovall and West both had interceptions. Another dominated win for our Grambling State Tigers, but up next is another tough matchup, this time against the Florida Gators. Thanks for watching, guys. Coming up in the Tigers Den podcast, we recap our win and welcome the newest members to the recruiting class. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.